Hi, I'm Gigi Rada Benitez, and welcome to the Dubai Connect podcast. This is season 3, and for my very first episode, I have one of the most special guests I've ever had. Help me welcome my broker here in California, actually, Terri Dillon, to the show. Hi, Terri.
Hi, Gigi. Thanks for having me. This is pretty exciting.
Have been waiting to have you on.
We've been doing this, putting it off for over a year.
Yes. So
busy.
What I'm trying to do now with season 3 is that now that I've had a couple seasons, I've been working the market in Dubai for a couple of years, is to really come in and look at the pieces that haven't been filled in as far as the questions that different global real estate investors have. And I thought you would be so great to have on because of your perspective in that. And if you could introduce who you are and your professional background, how many years you've been doing real estate here in America's finest city of San Diego.
Well, Gigi, I've been involved in real estate for about over 30 years. Brokering an office, we cover San Diego, anywhere in San Diego. I've had up to about 200 agents. We have a mortgage company, an escrow company, and a real estate company. And we're coastal, we're inland, and we're in the city. It never, ever is the same. It's always changing. And I'm an instructor for real estate as well. And as the broker, I'm ultimately responsible for every client, every file. And I take that very seriously. We've had lots of ups and downs in San Diego as far as the economy. So I've learned not to stress about that. You just follow the reports, do what you have to do, posture yourself for those kind of markets. As the internet came out several years ago with more global exposure to other countries, access of information is quicker. It's opened up a new way of doing real estate, of networking, the economy, and what works well in one country may not work well for another country.
Exactly.
There's a lot of myths thinking you have to be really rich and famous to be able to own in other areas. That's not true. And it depends on what your ultimate need is going to be as well. And I don't know if we're jumping ahead or not, but I did visit Dubai by your invitation. I jumped on a plane, and it was a marvelous experience to get out there. I absolutely loved it. I'm not a world traveler, so for me to jump on a plane, go by myself solely, and go into a different country that is completely different, it was wonderful. I mean, the weather was just like in San Diego, so that was the first thing. So the clothing didn't have to change what you packed. Mm-hmm. The people were marvelous. It was a very diversified melting pot of different cultures, which was fascinating to me, from food to entertainment. Things were in English, so I didn't feel that I was all by myself. I could read menus and I could read the signs on the freeways. People were very helpful. Such a clean city. Oh my gosh, such a clean city. But taking my experience from California and also promoting Dubai, it's also equally important for Dubai people to understand we have California. So there's a going back pattern that can go back and forth, and anybody who ever wanted to come to Dubai, because your license is, you're working in both areas, we would give them first class service if they want to come over here and see what we have to offer in the coastal areas of California and have weather like this all year long.
You know, actually, one of the main developers in Dubai, he models a lot of the areas that he develops out in Dubai from San Diego because he was educated here.
Cool.
Attended San Diego State University, and there are royal family members as well that have been educated in California. So they love California. And for myself, as you know, the reason why I embarked upon this journey is not because really the selling California, although, yes, I am born in the United States, raised in San Diego my whole life, educated at UCSD. I am a California, I can't say girl, woman, because I'm not a girl, a California woman, and I know this area like the back of my hand, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's America's finest city, best weather in the world. You have the ocean, the mountains, skiing. You have diversity as well here. You have all different religions and cultures, and there's a huge Middle Eastern population here as well, as I am first generation Arab American. But the reason that I got involved with this, as you know, Terry, is because when I went to Dubai for my first time, and I saw firsthand what was happening there, and I realized that Americans, North Americans, Americans and Canadians were missing out on the incredible global real estate opportunities in Dubai specifically because they didn't have a quote unquote connect, which I set myself on a mission, taking my sales background from pharmaceutical sales, my economics degree from UCSD, and my PR firm that I've had for 15 years, combining those with my connections, contacts, and relationships in the Middle East, married those together to help create a concierge-like company, basically, with your support and mentorship as well here in California. And I have my partner who's been doing real estate in Dubai for 18 years. So I have offices both, feet on the ground in both, and really helping these investors in North America understand the process because, and we can talk about this as well when we visit the builders in Dubai. I mean, there are 15,000 real estate agents in Dubai. So the idea that they're going to sit and educate.
That doesn't mean they're all really
for sure
good.
And we'll get into that.
Okay.
But the idea that those 15,000 agents that are competing for 200 units that are launched at a time in a very high demand market don't have the time to sit and educate North Americans on how to invest in Dubai from our perspective living here as citizens here. And that is what
you've done a phenomenal job of digging. You dug into the politics, you dug into the legal, you dug into the everything that you did, from the tier one developers to the ones we should steer away from, because reputations are everything. And when we're taking our clientele list from California and we are encouraging them, our reputations are on this, not just liability, but reputations.
Absolutely.
And it means something. And so when you get over there and you start showing them the right people are going to take care of them, you've got boots on the ground in Dubai, you got boots on the ground in California. So you're surrounded with professionals taxing the law firms that we've been working with on both sides, Dubai and
property
in here.
managers.
Property
there.
managers. Not everybody wants to move to Dubai, but
Right.
they want to invest so they can sell, reinvest again, or maybe the Airbnbs, or just have a vacation home. But whatever their needs are, we've got people that can meet that.
Exactly.
And when they're back in the United States, know that their property is going to be well taken care of and managed. And as you are a frequent flyer and you are there all the time and you're back and forth, I never know where I'm talking to you at. So, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. And by the way, from San Diego time, I have learned they're exactly on the other side of the world. So we're exactly, 12 hours difference.
And right now it's 11 hours.
Oh,
but
it's 11.
typically it's 12,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, well, depending on our time frame.
Exactly.
So I would always think, it's 6 a.m. here, Gigi's 6 p.m. there. So when we're talking. But it doesn't stop us. Because sometimes you're the day ahead, right? Yep. So that's kind of cool. So I'm giving you something, and by the time you get it done, it's already done the same day. So that's kind of cool.
And real estate doesn't sleep. Let's be real.
No, never, and neither do our people. They just really want to please.
So this makes me think. I want to cover some of the differentiators.
Okay.
And then that actually brings up one of the first ones that I discussed on a previous podcast, is that even the real estate agents, and I'm not trying to downplay real estate agents, but compared to California and what we do here and all of the rules that
Here,
we apply
Dubai.
to, comparing Dubai to California,
Okay.
it seems to be transactional based in Dubai, whereas in California, we're all reputation and relationship based. Because you have so many agents that are coming in that are moving from different places of the country that think in Dubai they're going to make all this money. And there is a lot of money to be made in real estate. But if they don't make it in 3 months, they have to go back because they can't survive. Here in California, we're all about that relationship long term with a client. And I've taken that's ingrained in our training and our way of doing business in California, and I'm implementing that with the Dubai buyers, being relationship based. So for me, my fulfillment, Terry, does not come in from selling one project. My fulfillment comes in that someone trusts my team and I to help them in the long-term strategy and building their portfolio.
You're building the portfolio. The repeat and referral business is very, very important. And the ongoing plan. To get from A to B, we might have to have other steps to get involved to get to where the area they want to ultimately be.
Correct. And what are their goals?
And yeah, what
Like, are
their
they
goals
moving
gonna be.
there, or are they just,
Yeah,
or is it?
absolutely. But all that stuff comes in the extraction of good questions. So when you get the right questions posed to them, you can help them better. And that book of business, referral, repeat business, isn't just a one-shot wonder and you're never going to see them again. And that's the problem. Everybody thinks real estate's very, very easy. It's not. If you're taking this as a serious career and business and taking advantage, it's surrounding yourself with winners with builders, winners with people, the property management, the CPAs, the attorneys that can advise the people what they can do. And then we take that information and do best by our clients.
Best by your clients, fiduciary responsibility. You always ingrain that in me.
I don't know if you can edit this part out, the F word, right?
Yeah, you always ingrain that.
The fiduciary is putting their interest above your own.
It's all about their interest.
And unfortunately, the one swing wonders that do one deal or go out there for 3 months and they didn't make it big, I don't know if that's always in the back of their mind if this is going to be a long-term project for them. We field many calls from all over the United States and in Canada of people wanting to model after your plan. And we have talked about this. We have also talked about they didn't want to, like I said earlier, dig deep to get the right information for their clients. They want to parlay off your brochures, your information, your resources. And that's a big no-no. These are our people that are protecting mutually with our clients. And if they want to build it, great. There's plenty of business for everybody. But this is the GG International business, and GG has her, like I say, her group of experts in both areas, so that we are all talking to each other, and we know each other, that we know of each other. And I've gone out there and met the people and did podcasts with them out in that area where we know what GG's ultimate goals are for those clients. And so it's been really, really cool. And we're getting a very good response. And when you start capturing that attention, there's going to be some copycats out there. So all I'm saying is to some of the people that are interested in Dubai, who you work with matters. Because that's a long ways to go and make a big mistake if you don't know what you're doing. And there's not a lot of people that are going to be your allies over there unless you have groups that actually live there, work there, are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I love the country. It was wonderful. Saw my first fancy, what's that car called? A Bugatti?
What was it?
A Bugatti?
I have a video of it when we stepped out, and it was a royal family, remember?
Yes.
Because we said, why is everyone staring? And
Why is they're bringing the red robe out to cover it all up so no one get there, and I'm taking pictures.
That was at JBR. It was such a treat to take you there.
Yeah,
and
that
I
was
remember
a lot of fun.
a lot of it before we went.
I felt so innocent in some aspects, like, what are they doing, and how's that work?
It was so cute seeing you. And by the way, just to back it up, that you've never been to the Middle East.
No.
So that was a very big trip, but you took Emirates.
Yeah.
Business class
gosh.
experience.
Yeah.
You enjoyed the lounge access and the first class service. You were
Yes.
saying you stayed at the Grosvenor House Hotel, one of my favorite hotels there. You thoroughly enjoyed the service oriented aspect.
Well, I've told many people the biggest complaint I had was everybody saying good morning to me so many times. That was a great thing.
Incredible.
They just let me get your luggage. Let me get no dirt, curbs, cars, lobbies. Free,
and everyone's happy
crowded.
to see you and serve you because
yes.
It's so
Didn't matter.
Well, tourism is one of the top industries in Dubai.
I saw that, and I saw the biggest Ferris wheel in the world. It reminded me of a mini version, their larger version of our mini version of Seaport Village, with all around the coastal and all the little shops. I really was impressed with all the little eateries. You know, they didn't have to be brand names, but the hospitality. Everything they gave us from the lattes. Oh, they're really big on pita bread and pistachios.
Remember
that
we went
was
to that
pretty
coffee
cool.
shop, the roastery coffee. We had it was like pistachio mixed in with latte. I'm on a search in San Diego for the perfect coffee, but I have not found.
Yes.
Because Dubai, I don't know if you know that coffee originates from the Middle East, so they really take the coffee seriously. And also, when I had shared with you culturally, the lobby life, because you have your bars, and if that's what you're looking for, the bars and the nightclub, people have this misconception that there's no alcohol. Yes, there is. You can go there.
Right.
I know you did the Atlantis one Sunday brunch.
Oh yeah,
with your sister.
We did a while at the Atlantis.
But there's this lobby culture where every lobby competes to be even more attractive and enticing than the next.
Oh my gosh, that's true.
And it's the coffee and the desserts and the danishes and the croissants and then the most beautiful dressed up, elegant people, and you just sit and watch, and it's so fascinating, right?
It was just the culture of how they dress. It could be simple or it could be really fashion designer. And it was depending where they're from and what they're doing for their day, but there's no judgment. And I like that. We went to the older part of Dubai. Now, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Dubai is about 50 years old. Is that correct? Okay. So everything looks new. So when I think I was at the top of my hotel, but when I looked down at all the channels and all the yachts, it kind of reminded me of a Chicago.
The marina. You were on the marina. Yes.
Oh my gosh. And all the boats, but every building you could just scan with your eyes around. This was going this way, this one's going that way, this one's going round. Nothing was the same. And that was pretty cool, not boxed up and squared off. And the architect was just absolutely phenomenal. It didn't take us too long to get anywhere. We went as long as we didn't have to do U-turns, Gigi.
Because the problem is getting lost.
Yeah,
and
you get lost.
Here's a tip. Do use Waze. Do not use Google Map when you are
Okay.
driving around. Use Waze. That's the biggest tip for Dubai.
But I never felt threatened. We've asked for directions. We never felt threatened. People would just come and go, oh, yeah, and tell us which way to go. Everyone spoke English.
Absolutely.
So it wasn't like
How about when you park your car and they wash it for you? And,
oh, yeah, that was kind of
and
interesting.
they'll bring gas to your car if you're,
you're
at a mall and you just give them
You're
your
at the
license
mall,
plate
and I
number and
saw
they
the little
deliver.
guys running around with this big tube. I go, what's that, Gigi? Oh, they're washing cars. I think it was for $5 or something.
I think $3 or $5.
Yeah, it wasn't very much.
It's just...
Yeah.
So I love that you got to experience it
Yes.
from a lifestyle perspective, and you as American born, raised and bred. I mean, you're the all American, and you got to see Dubai from that perspective.
Being American, people were fearful because what was going on in the Middle East.
Yes,
they were
You
fearful of that.
actually let's touch upon that because even a
Yes.
couple weeks before, you said to me, "Do I need to be worried?"
And you said no.
I said, is someone worried when they go to Switzerland? I mean,
Yeah.
Dubai is as
And you were actually
stable.
there when I made the call.
Yes.
So is there any kind of fallout was going on? And because people, of course, they have rumors and whatever and the bad media. And I said, is there anything? And you say no. And I never thought about it again. So I just put that out on my mind. I got the big map out and I said, well, we're not too far from that. And is that going to affect our flights? Is that going to affect? But it was a one-way trip from LAX. It was just nonstop. So it was that was pretty cool. And you just... when we landed, I was kind of mad because I wasn't even finished with my movie, You
You don't even want to get off that plane.
No, it was
the way you're treated on there.
I don't remember how many but there's quite a herd of people on that plane as far as rotating in and out. Lots of languages and the flight attendants from all over the world were there. So that was pretty cool.
The most beautiful flight attendants.
Oh my
The
gosh.
Emirates
Men and
flight
women,
attendants. Same red lipstick they all wear with their
Yes.
hair coiffed back. I mean, everything they think
Never
of.
stressed, never rude, never arrogant.
No.
Always what they can do for you. And of course, I never want to leave my little pod area. You got my bed. I got everything set up. My own little bar going on. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, that was really an experience in itself. Just go on the flight if you've never done that. I would highly recommend it if you
Save
can.
your Amex points. for
Yes,
the
there you
upgrades.
go. Points helps.
Amex points.
I wasn't that prepared. You said come, I said okay. So I was on the plane and ready to go and say okay, get the passport, get it all going, and get everything updated. But it was very very cool. Getting over there and all the way to the room and the hospitality, the flowers, the food, and everything that was there. And of course, when I got in there, it was late at night. So really I saw the night view, but in the morning, it was just fabulous. And you're right there in the first morning. We're going on a boat ride. Okay. So I hadn't slept and we were right on and going out into the bay.
Yep.
The water was crystal clear. It was, I took my shoes off and dipped my feet in it. That was so kind of cute.
Yes.
And
That was the
very
World
pretty.
Islands. That's where we went to visit.
Yes, we went and visited
Yes.
the World Islands, which is under development.
Yes.
And then we went back to their headquarters and looked at their grand overlay plans, their models, and their mock-ups of what they're trying to do. I tried to Cinco, that was our first day with that developer. But we hit many, many others. And everyone, and back to the hotels that we would go and have our meetings at, every lobby, you're right, it was just a lobby convention. I would look at this one and the waterfalls and the
And
artwork.
the smells. How about the smells?
Oh, the smells, the artwork, the people, just the layout of the hotels, the grounds of the hotels were just fabulous. So I never felt in a hurry, never had traffic jams. We didn't have experience any of that. We did go into the more of what I would call corporate part of Dubai when we went up the elevators and where the attorneys and everyone, just like any normal downtown. I went over there open-minded, I want you to know. Open-minded, whatever's happened, go for the experience. I didn't want to go expecting too much or too little. I wanted to see what it would offer me and what would be my takeaway. So when I get back to the United States, what can I share with people? And what some of my takeaways were: the pleasant people, the lack of violence, the cleanliness of the town, the certain moral pride that people would take in this community, and it wouldn't even phantom to them to throw their trash around, saying thank you, may I help you, the servicing. It was all very, even if they weren't a top tier restaurant, they should have been, because everything was just fabulous. I had absolutely no complaints. Every corner, every place we went around was prettier than the last. It was another ooh and ah, and that went on for days. I think I was there, 7 days or 10? I can't remember with the flight. But it was a great experience meeting all the wonderful people, the buildings, the architect. I took away the difference in the money. I mean, and they all take Visas and MasterCard. So if anybody's worried about money part, just flip out a card. That's not a problem.
What you did the whole time.
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
They're not really big on tipping, but right? But
it's not expected.
It's not expected, but
we
you do it.
Because we
did
come
it.
from the American culture
and
where we do.
It's not like in the queues over here, like your tip you want to do. It's not, there's no pressure put on anybody for anything.
No.
And there's no judgment on their part.
No.
And I want to make that clear. There's no judgment, and they realize tourism is there. But I don't think they did it just for the tipping or the tourism. They just did it because they're nice people.
And it's a pride. They take pride.
Yeah, it's
and
the
people,
pride.
So the thing is about Dubai, because the majority of the people there are expats, they're all under the same objective: producing, creating beautiful lives, working, making money to take care of their families, and nobody wants to get kicked out. So everyone plays by the rules.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because I interview everybody that who's.
I remember you did.
Well, be in the Uber. What was it? Was he an Uber taxi? And I'll go, where are you from? And where's your wife? Where? And he's his child. And I don't see him for a couple of times. I make the money here and I go back, and I'm working on. So they all have these missions and projects, and I think that's really great. And they're willing to do what it takes to get to where they want to go. And I thought that was great. And then when I get to the airport, which is 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning or something, don't touch anything. They're getting the luggage out. They're running things around. And I go, oh gosh, there's nobody at the airport. Crystal clean. I felt like I was walking into a palace at the airport. I had the lighting, the art that was all around. No bubble gum on the escalators.
Beautiful.
You know, things.
And again,
gorgeous.
the smells. And you won't understand unless you go there.
Yeah.
But the oud smells of Dubai, every lobby, every airport, every restaurant has their own distinct smell, a sense. And so I try to buy as many of those atomizers and candles to bring them home and try to duplicate it. But it's not the same as being there.
Yeah. And when I was there, and of course you made it a lot of fun, because we just got into our little normal mischief, you know, that we let's go there, let's do it, let's get off calendar, let's try this, and let's take our shoes off. And you know, we had everything. I mean, and when I say mischief, let me condition that. Fun mischief, not bad. If anybody was, don't take that wrong.
Respectful.
Yeah, respectful. It was just things that we wanted to do that weren't necessarily an agenda. We just went with the flow on it. But everything was fun. I love their pita bread was really good. Oh my gosh, they came out so.
Food was amazing.
Yeah, the food was amazing.
And all different types. This is the other thing too, is that in Dubai, because it is catering to expats from all over the world, whatever type of cuisine that you're craving, not only you're going to find it, but you're going to find the best of it, right? So if you're craving Peruvian, it's the best Peruvian you'll have. If you're craving Chinese, it's the best Chinese. But if you want your Middle Eastern,
they had their pizza. For Italians, they had. I saw Chinese food areas.
Every cuisine.
I saw Mexican restaurants. I saw everything over there.
Yep.
Of course, they are better in theirs, which what I'm going over there to taste and experiment with, but. You're right. You're absolutely right on that. And I didn't see. Now I don't see.
There were a lot of American brands that are starting to open there as well in franchises.
Yeah.
But I actually tried to stay away from that when I was there.
And that didn't hit me like it does a Burger King, a Taco Bell. Those I didn't really remember seeing that, but then I wasn't looking for it either.
They're there. There are a lot of franchises, and they're opening, like every day. They're opening more and more American-based franchises there.
Well, speaking of franchises, when we were in the largest mall of the world.
Dubai Mall, which they
Mall.
just announced is going to be even larger. They're opening,
oh my gosh,
I think 240 more stores there.
So I can't remember how many stories high and how many wings it had, but it was everywhere. And speaking of franchise, every franchise that I've ever heard of had a presence there.
You mean every designer, every brand?
Designers, brands, bags, purses, clothing lines. They were there.
Yes.
They the who's who.
Yes.
But we just went round and round, and there's just so much to see. And food, lots of sample. People are always giving out you samples and samples and samples. So I was grabbing up stuff to take for back to the office back in California, and it would let them have some of the kind of, I think it was camel milk chocolate or something, something just fun. Whether it is or not, I don't know. It probably is. But, give it back to them and let them just see the wrapping on it. It was kind of cute. But yeah, I was, you could definitely go back there, and you can go there and just do nothing and enjoy. I didn't go the beachy thing, what some of the people do all day in the beach, and I saw jet skis.
But that's there too.
Yeah, that's there. If people are going over there and want to
Yes.
stay on the resorts that are on the beach, they have
Yes.
all those facilities for people to do. I did see helicopters going around, and then we didn't even get out of Dubai where you do the marvelous caravanning on camels. I didn't get to the horse tracks, which I'd
you
love to
wanted
have
to
done,
do.
but there was just so much to do.
know.
And we did meet a lot of developers because
Yep.
that was my mission, to get there, and I felt good about that.
Actually, that's what I would love to transition into now, is that so excited that you experienced, enjoyed, and loved the lifestyle. And I know you even said you'd want to go back, which
Sure.
melts my heart. Now let's get into more from your business perspective, because Terri, I have the ultimate respect for you. Obviously, as you had mentioned when we first started this episode, your experience, and you are a legend here in Southern California. I mean, you're very involved
Everybody
nationally. Everyone knows who you are, but you help write rules, and you're very involved with real estate regulations, etc. So I would like to touch on some of the topics from your perspective from the business aspect. We talked about one of the things I asked you about differences between agents and being either more transactional based mentality in Dubai versus relationship based here.
Okay.
And then you came with me to a lot of the builders. Like, I guess we could touch upon a little bit about the quality of the building that you saw there and the innovation, and touching upon not all builders are the same and developers are the same, so why it's important. But can you share your perspective on what you felt when we were visiting builders?
Well, let's start with in the United States. In the United States, we have that fiduciary duty to our clients, which we have to go into before we can even start a contract, whether a buyer-broker agreement, a listing contract, or a purchase contract. Once you start, the purchase contract is not something that agents create. It's prepared for us. We're kind of filling in the blank. But by extracting the right information, we know how to fill it out to properly represent your client. So now that we have a purchase contract, you present it to the seller, and maybe there's some going back and forth in a counter. There's no standing in lines like in Dubai. There's no numbers. There's no who well, there is kind of who you know. But your reputation is very important, whether your client's offer is going to be accepted or not. Voila, we open up an escrow. When I first got involved with the Dubai market over a year ago, we had a difference in terminology what open up escrow meant. So you'd come back to me, no, we get paid. And I go, no, we get paid at close of escrow. And I'm thinking 30, 45 days. You're going, no, we get paid now. So I had to do a lot of rethinking. How does Dubai market work? So yes, so during our whole marriage with our buyers or sellers, we're with them 30, 45 days, having that relationship, like you pointed out earlier. You're going through and you're approving the preliminary title reports, the homeowner association, if there's one. You have to do your due diligence of a physical inspection, or you should be doing it. And you're going, a lot of things, you're getting your insurance in place, you're getting your financing in place. Completely different rethinking in Dubai, where a lot of that stuff is not in effect. A lot of these people are buying it sight unseen, and you take it or leave it. You're in a line. It's almost buying your new construction, and you're not doing a lot of this stuff, the title, because your government is much more involved in those type of transactions versus our transactions. The only thing our government would do is VA or FHA, and they're just guaranteeing a loan, but they're not giving the loan. So it's really different way of looking at how the economics is working on when you purchase. So part of Gigi's challenge, your challenge and your group, is to help us in the United States that new way of thinking. It's not that complicated, because
It's
really
simple.
I was really overthinking it
Yes.
in Dubai compared to what I was in for in the United States. And so therefore, when you have the government involvement,
The
in
Dubai Land
in the
Department, yes.
and they're getting paid for that, and they keep a tight accountability on the builders as far as what they can do, what they can't do. And of course, everybody wants to be in that tier one and want to be in the government, the Dubai's I don't want to, lack of better words, not tarnish your reputation to the Dubai, or they're dead, they're out.
Yes.
And so therefore, you're going to promote the better builders, the ones that are back, the ones that are going to be in your client's best interest, quality of building. Now, they don't have earthquakes that I'm aware of. What's the worst thing they have over there? Sandstorms?
Sandstorms, and there was the recent flooding.
And the flooding.
Yes.
Now, was that brought on with the
No, it
They're
was
on,
not.
that was
no,
normal.
actually, that was normal flooding because it
normal
was
flooding.
the entire region.
Okay.
So it didn't have to do with the cloud seeding.
Okay.
And the way that they handled it and have overcome it, and the builders such as Emaar, etc., have guaranteed and helped pay for the damage, just shows how Dubai quickly, and they did the same thing with COVID, overcomes an unforeseen disaster and takes care of its people.
Yeah. And I think that really shows through with the morality of the people. No one speaks badly about anything like, oh my God, you know, the politics going on in the United States. They don't have that over there.
They love their leaders. Dubai loves their leaders. So yes, and just to like really hone in on this, because this is something I'm going to cover in a separate podcast interview, but there's the question about there are safety measures in place in Dubai. Okay, the Dubai Land Department has their regulatory arm called the Real Estate Regulatory Agency that oversees all real estate transactions in Dubai. So you cannot get frauded. You can't. It's basically impossible because of the Dubai government's oversight. However, that does not mean that every single investment is a strong, strategic, max ROI investment. And that's where working with somebody who really understands, like you said, which developers have the best reputations for A, delivering on time, B, high quality, C, customer service, and then this translates to ROI and the resale value of that developer. So not all developers are made equally.
Right. But let me also say, ROI, there's never a guarantee on anything.
Yeah, it's true.
But wouldn't your chances be much higher if you're working with the right people?
Yes.
So that's what's really important for people to understand, whether it's in California or here. And another point I wanted to make is I found out in California, if you're not an attorney, you're related to one or no one. And there can be a lot of liability. And I was talking to our associates there, and I go, what about lawsuits or someone not like you? Nobody sues anybody here because you have the land development.
Yes.
So that was another thing that was taken back because we do so much to prevent anybody being taken advantage of.
Yes.
But if you have the government stepping in and making sure the buildings are not right, and that if there's anything wrong, they go in and cure the default.
Correct.
I think that's very important to know, and a better feeling. But also, if you're not working with the right developers, that can be scary too. So again, who you're working with over as your associates and as your partners and as your what's the word? Your professionals, I guess, for lack of better words. It really, really does matter over there.
And it matters. You and I've had this conversation. It matters here.
Yes, it matters here too.
But I feel like it matters on a whole nother level there when you're from here doing this global investing.
You're very vulnerable.
Yes.
So you're very vulnerable to a sales pitch, and you don't have a lot of time, and you're hearing something, and you've got a little bit of here and a little bit of here, and you make a bad decision, and you may not get that ROI that you were talking about. But if you're associating with yourself, people who have gone in there, dug deep, got the right people, the right developers, have built it on experiences, not just a one-shot wonder, and they were back to wherever they came from. Could be Miami, Canada, or whatever. I'm not saying that's a bad place, because we've been hit by all these places, and there's good agents in those that are doing what we're doing. You've got an interest, and you've got a great following, Gigi. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about that. And I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
You've got a lot of that going on, and your family is very supportive. And you've got a lot of things I know in the next year that you can announce later that are coming up, which I think are pretty cool on going on. And you've got a good presence here in the Southern California. You've got a ton of people that you know out here, and as far as all your different businesses that you've run and following you and believing in you and wanting to take this to the next level as far as investing in Dubai, which I think is a really cool thing to do. This isn't going to be over soon. This isn't just a fad.
No.
This is going to go on forever with Dubai.
And with with the greater UAE, there's just an announcement today about NEOM in Saudi Arabia. And we know that Abu Dhabi is up and coming. Ras Al Khaimah, where the Wynn casino has broken ground, the first and only gaming casino. So the entire UAE is really a hot spot for investing.
Where is the Wynn going to be opening up at?
In Ras Al Khaimah on Marjan Island. And it's another emirate that's about 40 minutes from Dubai.
Wasn't there one going to be opening up in Dubai?
No, Dubai has the MGM and Aria and one other. I'm forgetting the name right now. But those are not confirmed yet as gaming casinos. So the Wynn in Ras Al Khaimah is the first gaming casino it's a $4 billion project that's broken ground there. So now we have investors looking to capitalize on the opportunity to have a rental property investment opportunity right next door to a casino on an island that's just 40 minutes from Dubai. So people have to come into Dubai to be able to get there. So that's attracting. So you're right. This is just the beginning. And I will
didn't you mention too there's going to be another international airport being built?
Yeah, so when you're talking about DXB Airport and how amazing it is, the Al Maktoum Airport is actually going to be the largest international airport in the world. And the next 5 years, they're going to move traffic from DXB to Al Maktoum, where they're spending billions of dollars to open up and create all new terminals there. So it's going to be bringing a lot more traffic to that area. And it's in Dubai South, right next to Expo City and Emaar South. So it's also opening up more investment opportunities in that neighborhood. And this leads me, and I think I'll close back to this as our closing for this episode, which is the why. And I think that we started by talking about the differences in real estate agents potentially in Dubai, and obviously not all. There are some that are absolutely excellent.
Yes.
That are my mentors that I look up to, that
Well,
I
it's good
admire.
to have collaboration.
Absolutely. But I will just say what my why is, and not even comparing. My why is not about making money, and not that I'm a nonprofit business. That I am a businesswoman, and I'm an entrepreneur by heart. That's how I've been, always entrepreneurial. But I'm at a stage in my life, at this age, 3 grown children, thank God, got them all out of their private schools. Last one's going out to college. Thank you, so proud. And my husband supports my vision, but I had a very lucrative PR firm for the past 15 years that I've been running. So it wasn't that I got into Dubai real estate because I saw an opportunity to make money. And so that's not my why. My why is that I have a pride as a first generation Arab American to what Dubai is doing on a larger level. Real estate is just my vehicle to open the eyes of people here like yourself, and open up the eyes of North Americans and break misconceptions and let them see this is the pride I have for being an Arab American. They are doing it right on all different levels. And it just happens to be that real estate is my opportunity to be able to do that, right? To get you over there, to come check it out and fill that need that's in the market that nobody else is doing, which as an American is educating people.
But see, I feel your passion. And I see it in your eyes, your voice, your movement. And I remember when we were out and we were having a moment, just taking it all in. And you said, I just have a calling here to come back. And when you said that to me, I looked at you, I got it. And when something's in your blood, in your history, or maybe even conversations with your family, it was something that felt like home to you. And I remember you said, I have a calling. It just means something to me.
Yes.
And I think that's important to know, because when someone has a passion, they're not diverted with just the money. They want it. They want to make it right to whoever they're working with, whoever they're dealing with, to make it all right. Your kids are supported. They're going to be there, and you can have houses in different parts of the world. It's not a big deal. You can drive. You can go on Emirates. You can fly around.
Exactly.
It's not a big deal. And we have internets and we have phones, and I've learned all kinds of other applications where I can call people and stuff. I mean, I've learned a lot.
Got you on WhatsApp now.
Yeah, you got me on all kinds of apps. My sister lived in
WhatsApp.
My sister lived in Abu Dhabi for 14 years, which I feel super bad about never visiting her until you invited me out, and I got to see her too. Yes. So that was kind of cool, and she got me on another app. So the combination of both of you being very calm and introducing me, and I felt very vulnerable, but I felt very safe. Vulnerable meant I didn't know all the ins and outs, but I felt very safe, and it didn't take you long. A couple of hours to realize those worries or those things you hear about are non-issues. And I thought that was really good. But I love your why. I love your passion. I love your calling. I like that you acknowledge that. I like that you have the support from your family. And I like that you're smart enough and an intelligent professional to surround yourself with good people and not just go in with anybody who's going to tell a story. Because there's been people you and I've raised our eyebrows with, and we said, next.
Absolutely.
And it's okay to let go of business, let go of associates, because it's not the right mix.
No, the best attorneys, the best accountants,
exactly.
the best property managers, the best developers, because it's not just about making the money. It's not just about selling you the least expensive product just so you buy. It's really about guiding you, and it is about the why for me, and that's important. And thank you for helping support it.
Yes,
mentor
my pleasure.
me. You've been my such a big rock, just like my family, from a professional standpoint and an emotional.
Oh, we've come a long ways, Gigi. You don't always realize it until you start going back and go back. Just read our emails. Our text.
Definitely.
So, I mean, we've come an awfully long ways from a
Yes.
concept to making it happen.
Yes.
And it's been a journey. We had to write questions. Very few people have shut us out. More people have been, the people I associate with are big thinkers. So they always want to know how they can help, and our franchise has been
Yes, they have.
fantastic.
Absolutely.
They've been very
teaching webinars now.
We've also been learning too that a lot of people talk the talk but don't walk the walk.
Exactly.
Right? And so I go into everything very suspiciously, where I kind of pull you back because you're very, oh wow, this is great, and I love that about you, Gigi. I really love this voyage we're on together, and I think it's wonderful, and it's going to go places.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, it's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you for
It's
taking
fun.
the time. So now that the people that are following on my YouTube can get to know you
Hello,
too,
everyone.
Terri. I love this woman. And with that, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, comment, and ask any questions. And I'll be answering it throughout the season of the Dubai Connect podcast. Thank you.